Got a nice hoard of foreign money, my friends. Want to see what we have here? Stick around. We're going to dig a little deeper. Thank you for tuning in to another video from Budget Bullion Stacker, a channel that focuses on the stacking of precious metals while remaining on budget. If you like content like this and would like to see more, please consider subscribing, ring the bell notification, and while you're down there, please give the video a thumbs up. It is greatly appreciated. Today I thought I'd do a slightly different kind of video. The nice little hoard you see before you here actually belongs to my girlfriend. She had this many years before me and her got together. She'd had it boxed away for a long time, and here just in the past few days actually stumbled across it again while unboxing some things. I thought it was a really interesting collection. Thought that maybe you all would be interested in seeing it. She's got a lot of stuff from all over the world here, and I figured I'd dive a little deeper and show you what she has. There are several pieces in her collection that I'm not really sure what they are and don't know much of anything about them. I'll start with the things that I do know a little bit about. These coins here are all from Japan. These are all 1 yen. I have been to Japan myself, so I have some of these in my personal collection of foreign currency. These particular coins, for anyone who's not familiar with them, they actually feel like they're made out of aluminum. They're about the lightest weight coin that I've ever held. You can continue on with a 5 yen coin. I like a lot of these foreign coins that have the holes in them. I'm not sure if anyone feels the same, but I just think they're really cool. Continue on. Yen coin. These examples here are a bit older than the ones that I have in my personal collection. So I'm not sure if that will mean anything as far as content of metal or value later. Have a nice 50 yen piece. Also another one with the hole in it. I don't know. I think they're kind of cool. Let me know below if you like them. These particular ones here, they look like your run-of-the-mill 100 yen coin, but I have noticed on these they're marked 44, 42. I know currency of that time period in America had silver content. These have just plain silver edges, and they do feel a slight bit heavier than the 100 yen coins that I have, so I will have to do some investigation on these. I'm not sure if these older ones contain silver or not. If anyone knows, just leave me a comment below. I'm just kind of interested to know. Here we have some interesting pieces from Singapore. I'm not familiar with Singapore currency at all, so this is kind of a first for me, but I thought it was really cool. It's kind of interesting down here where it's all written in English, Minister for Finance. It's known as legal tender for $1. Seems a little strange to me for a foreign government, but you know, I'm not familiar with it, so I don't really understand. If this was wartime and kind of like the Filipino coins, maybe the United States was involved in the minting of this currency. If anyone knows, let me know. I will be doing some research on these. And then on the coins here, I thought these were kind of cool. This is the tiniest little coin I've probably ever seen. It's got a real pretty, looks like a swan. No, I'm sorry, not a swan, a crane. But, you know, an interesting piece. I kind of like it. 1967. So again, this one, don't know what foreign governments were doing with their currency. I will have to do research on these. Singapore 10 cents. Got a nice little seahorse on the other side. I thought these coins would interest people. I've never seen them myself, so it was quite interesting to me. I figured I would just share with everyone. Looks like a marlin on the cover on the front of this one. And this one here is actually a bit heavy. Looks kind of like a lionfish. I'm not totally sure. 50 Singapore cents. But again, a lot of these, this one here shows a little bit of signs of wear, where the color changes a little bit. So again, I'll have to do some investigation on these coins to see if they contain any silver. But regardless, they're just interesting pieces. We like to collect currency from around the world. Anytime we find stuff, we just like to pick it up. Something else interesting about these particular pieces here, I'm assuming these pieces are all from China. I can get you a good picture here. This one's quite old. I'll show you in another one. A lot of these have the Queen of England on them. Almost all of them have a really, really interesting edge. I've actually never seen any coins with edges like this. I thought it was really, really neat. The reason I say I assume they're from China is because they're all labeled as Hong Kong. I'm not really sure why they would label them as Hong Kong rather than just the country China. So I thought that was kind of a really interesting piece. It's another one you can see clearly where it's just labeled as Hong Kong. 10 cents. You can see a little better here where it's got Queen Elizabeth on the side. And I think every coin that's labeled as Hong Kong has this really interesting reeded edge. Something I had never actually seen before. Thought you all might actually enjoy. This one here I'm assuming is a bit older. King George VI. Also the same interesting design. I'm just kind of curious, do you think that the United States should adopt any type of design similar to this? I think it's really an interesting touch. So 5 cents, Hong Kong. Again, Queen Elizabeth. Some of these are kind of interesting if I can get it to focus here. You got the reeded edging, got the nice little design, and then it just kind of stops right there. So I thought that was kind of interesting too. It'll stop and then it'll continue. And then you'll go on around to the other side and then it stops again. So just something that was interesting to me. I thought everyone would enjoy. And then a Hong Kong $1. No, my girlfriend said she picked these up from a yard sale years and years ago. They were actually in a frame. You can see some of the damage by putting them in the frame because they were not done correctly. But I'm assuming you can see the reeded edge a lot better on this $1 piece. But I'm assuming that these were part of someone who had been in the military or had done a lot of world traveling. I'm assuming these were someone's personal collection and then just got sold off when they passed. Moving on to some of the bills here. Military payment certificate, 25 cents. I had never seen these either. I thought these were really interesting. If anyone knows anything about these, I would really be interested to know. If you would please comment below or email me. I just thought these were interesting. You can see the damage. These were actually taped inside of that frame. I wish they had not done that. But they're still, I think, very interesting pieces of history. I would just like to share them with everyone. This one here seems to be in a bit better shape. Got the astronaut on the back. But I thought these were really, really interesting. And this one here is military payment certificate for $1. Yeah, it looks like a jet fighter pilot on one side. I'm assuming also because of the reverse. But just really, really interesting pieces. And for the final two pieces that were inside, this one here, I don't honestly have a clue what this would be. Good for 5 cents in trade. I have not a clue what this would actually be. Thought it was a very interesting piece though. I'll have to do some research on that. I think This piece is from Japan. I think it's a much older coin, but I'm not totally sure. I'll have to do a lot of research on this. A lot of times you see the lotus blossom on Japanese coins. Also another just solid silver edge. It's got quite a bit of wear to it. This is honestly the most hopeful contender of all the pieces I've shown today to contain silver. It does have a fair bit of heft to it. I'll have to measure these. I'll have to weigh these out, not measure them, and then try to do some research. This one here will be more difficult. I can only read a little bit of kanji, not very much, and I honestly have no idea what this says. So if anyone's familiar with this coin, have any information about it at all, I would greatly appreciate the info. If you don't, that's okay. I just thought people would really enjoy the pieces. Well, friends, I hope you've enjoyed the nice little collection that my girlfriend has of foreign currency. If anyone's interested, I have my own separate collection, currency from Japan. I've got stuff from India, Russia, all over the place. If you're interested in seeing that, just leave me a comment down below. I'll post a video up on that at a later date. But I thought people would really find her collection interesting. I had never seen it until just a few days ago when me and her had been together for over 4 years. So it's quite an interesting surprise to me. I'll get these back to her as soon as the video is over. I hope you enjoyed the video. And as I always tell people, doesn't matter if you're lucking up on potential silver pieces like this coin here or a few others in here. Sometimes you have to do a little bit of research to see what you have, and sometimes you can get really great deals. But it doesn't matter how big that budget is you're working with, as long as you keep on stacking.